Hello, Leos, and welcome to your March 2024 horoscope. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So, here today, I'm going to discuss the main astrological events happening in March, and I'll tell you how they will influence your zodiac sign on a deeper level. I follow Western astrology and tropical zodiac, so welcome. All right, so first of all, Venus, as we begin the month, Venus is still in the sign of Aquarius in your seventh house. And on the 3rd of March, it will square Uranus in Taurus. And this will be at 19 degrees. So we've got a clash of energies here, hence square, which often indicates that need to get out of our comfort zone or perhaps having to implement more than usual effort in order to deal with a situation that occurs, emerges around this time. So, this is one of the final events here in the Aquarius house as we move into the Pisces house. And there will be so much happening here in the area of finances that come through other sources than your regular monthly or weekly income. All right, so here, yes, Venus in the seventh house. So Venus is connected to love, harmony, relationships, charm, sensual energy, finances as well. Venus rules your 10th house. When it is in a square to Uranus in Taurus, Uranus represents erratic energy, but also anything to do with things happening unexpectedly and out of the blue. So we've got a clash of energies between your seventh and your 10th house. And I think for some, this could play out in a way that something at work comes up, and perhaps this could be connected to a coworker or your superior, boss, a manager, someone perhaps with whom you deal regularly. Perhaps there is some kind of issue that emerges, something that has been an ongoing situation, but here at the beginning of March, things might just suddenly erupt. Now, whatever the scenario, it might be that you need more freedom. Perhaps you're being too restricted in your area of work environment, in your relationships one-to-ones, because these two areas are highlighted. And of course, here I'm giving you possibilities, but you will see how this will play out in your personal life. But overall, this square can indicate sudden and unexpected disruption in your relationships or in your career. And especially if you've been feeling restricted in your career or limited, if someone was just constantly behind your back, you might generally have enough as the month begins. And you might have this really strong urge to break free, to be independent. Perhaps this square could indicate that you want to change your career, your department, you want to do something different, or perhaps you have a need for a break, for a holiday. And this could be very possible with that eclipse in Aries in your ninth house in April, but also with that Aries North Node. Generally, there is this stimulation for freedom and independence and for generally breaking away from any limiting um, people, situations. So here, Venus and Uranus square is definitely illuminating this energetical influence. So overall here, if this is about your relationships and if you've been feeling limited or restricted with your options, and perhaps it was difficult to make progress in your career because your partner had your relationship overall was overly demanding, then here generally the situation may occur that will require attention. Whatever the scenario here, there is this need for freedom, independence, and for doing things your own way, on your own terms. But at the same time, perhaps this is about incorporating a more unconventional, unique approach to your one-to-one relationships, or perhaps to your career as well. So here, while this square could generally bring a little bit of instability and uncertainty in your life, but at the same time, it's really essential to be open-minded and flexible during the same, because some things might not go your way, or perhaps you might change your direction, your plans might change. So generally remain flexible and at the beginning of March, and be prepared that a situation may occur in either your one-to-one connections or in your career, and perhaps you will have to pause and think more strategically than impulsively. Now, on the 10th of March, we've got a new moon in Pisces at 20 degrees. And this new moon is in your 8th house. So here, this new moon is actually really significant because it connects to a cycle that will produce a lunar eclipse in Pisces next September 2025. So try to take notes and to really pay attention to the energies present around this new moon because it will be very significant. Then in September 2025, you'll be able to reflect, to refer to your notes and see how you can make the most of that lunar eclipse next year. So a new moon in Pisces here on the 20th, and this new moon here will be between Saturn and between Neptune. Saturn is connected to order, stability, consistency, hard work, while Neptune can bring a little bit of that dreamy and mystical energy. A new moon is about new beginnings, a new chapter. During a new moon, the moon is dark, so we don't really know what's going on. We don't have that much clarity, but at the same time, we've got lots of different ideas that we want to implement. So that's what the new one is about. It's about new ideas, new goals, setting new intentions. Now, a new one in the 8th house, yes, this could be about a positive transformation in your life. Yes, internal transformation, perhaps you're starting a therapy or a psychology session. Perhaps you need to look after your significant other. Perhaps they are going through major breakthroughs and they require your help and your support around this time. At the same time, perhaps you're opening a savings account or you're taking a loan or a mortgage, you want to invest your money, whatever it is. This isn't a month overall to splash around or be generally to be maybe to make unnecessary investments or to spend your money on unnecessary things, because later in the month we've got the Venus and Saturn conjunction as well, and then it's the Sun and Neptune conjunction earlier. So lots of energetical influences here. This is a time to really think carefully about every step that you take, especially when it comes to your investments, your loans, your debts, or perhaps any financial obligations you may have with or some organizations, for example, memberships, this sort of things. Right. So a new moon, yes, new beginnings. And we've got Saturn here that wants you to think carefully, to be realistic and grounded and strategic. And also, this is whatever you decide, it will have long-lasting effect. And here with that lunar eclipse in Pisces next year in September, you will see things unfolding further as well. Perhaps you're starting a new career as an accountant, as a healer, financial advisor, banker. This could be very, very much the case as well. But whatever it is, it's all about taking practical steps in order to achieve your goals, to achieve your objectives. Now, be mindful under that Neptunian influence of any delusions, of any illusions that may cloud your judgment, and take necessary precautions in order to avoid being misled. And this actually takes me to the Sun and Neptune conjunction here in the 8th house. Be careful because with so much energetical influence here and then Sun and Neptune conjunction, be careful of any scammers because there are so many of them and over the phone, over the post here online. Be mindful of that as well, especially since we've got a Sun and Neptune conjunction on the 17th of March at 27 degrees of Pisces. On the one hand, this could be about the greater tendency to attract the perhaps the negative experiences connected to some scammers, for instance. But on a different level, this is a time of healing, heightened emotions, heightened intuition, a greater ability to connect with your inner self as well. Now, on the 21st, we've got Venus and Saturn conjunction in the Pisces, and this conjunction will be at 12 degrees in your Pisces house. So here, yet again, we've got this major influence in this area of life. And this could be about having to make an important or some major financial decision. Now, since Venus is the planet connected to love and relationships, perhaps you're making an important decision with your significant other. Perhaps this is connected to a journey towards a deeper understanding of one another. This conjunction can bring some really intense emotions and feelings that can really help you to understand your significant other's fears, desires, and needs. And on the 22nd, we've got Mars moving into Pisces. And here with Mars in Pisces for about 6 to 8 weeks from the 22nd of March, this is your 8th house. So Mars is connected to passion, drive, and this can bring a lot of passion into your intimate relationship without a doubt. But at the same time, with Mars here, this is a time when you might be dealing with expenses and this could be regular expenses that you have to cover, which is perhaps your car MOT, or you might be taking your car into service. Perhaps this is when you will be paying your annual insurance and so on. But at the same time, it's generally here once Mars is in the 8th house. This is a time when you might have to cover certain irregular annual expenses. So here, yet again, following the Saturn and Venus conjunction, it's really essential to keep track of your outgoings and spendings, because they might increase. They usually increase when Mars transits the 2nd and the 8th house. But at the same time here, for those who like to invest their money in the stock market, for example, this could be a very vivid and lively time as well. Here again, proceed with caution, of course. You've got Saturn here for another another year and a half, and it's about really careful consideration when it comes to taking risks, even though Mars is all about taking risks, and sometimes it can make one very aggressive as well. So it's moderation. You have to practice moderation, but at the same time, this is also about also exploring or perhaps getting engaged or involved in activities that will help you to learn more about yourself. This is connected to healing. For you've got that ability here with Mars in the 8th house to go down deep into some deeply rooted feelings and emotions. And perhaps this could be about a true understanding of some of these emotions and feelings that seemed very complex before. With Mars in the 8th house, this could be also when you will be dealing with certain joined resources as well. Perhaps there is something that needs to be addressed. And if this is the case, it will also come up and show up during Mars in the 8th house transit. Now, we end the month with a lunar eclipse in Libra on the 25th of March at 5 degrees of Libra. So here, this cycle started in September 2022. And now during this eclipse in Libra, which is your 3rd house, this could be connected to your family dynamics, siblings, relatives, next of kin. But at the same time, this could be very much connected to some news. Now, whatever the scenario here, we always have to look at 2 houses with the eclipse. So we look at where the eclipsed moon is present, but also we look at where the sun is. And the sun is in the 9th house. So here we've got wherever the south node is present, there is a need to let go of some certain patterns. And now the 3rd house deals with your mind, with your intellect, with your thinking process, and with here the lunar eclipse is about some endings, conclusions, breakthroughs. Whatever that you're dealing here with, perhaps this is a course of study, your driving license, perhaps this is your website, your business. The 3rd house deals with your own business as well. Now, a certain phase of this idea, goal, project has fulfilled its purpose, and now it's time to move it into the next stage. So here the south node is helping you to eliminate whatever isn't needed. I think this is also connected to your intellect, to your confidence in yourself. If you don't believe that you know enough, then here these eclipses are here to help you to shift your mind and perhaps allow you to be more confident in yourself. Now, if you feel like you lack knowledge in certain topics and they are very meaningful and significant for your career growth, then here you might be finally learning and perhaps gaining the necessary knowledge to feel more confident at your work, in your career, in your business. I think that this is also about a major shift. Your outlook on life is changing. Your outlook on life is changing. This could be about your that ability to express yourself. If you've been working on your communication skills, if you've been working on that ability to express yourself more authentically, more confidently, then here you will see some amazing results and outcomes once this eclipse is over. Once this eclipse season is over. So be mindful of any misunderstandings as well. Communication is crucial. You need to communicate clearly during this time because there could be some misunderstandings. There could be some misunderstandings if you're not your authentic self. If you're not your authentic self, if you're hiding behind a mask, then this will become very apparent and might start to bother you. And you will try to find ways to finally free yourself from these misconceptions about yourself, about your communication style, about your ability to connect with other people as well. Perhaps you're changing your environment, your community, relocating. You might be traveling at this time as well. All right, so explore it further closer to the day. Thank you very much, Leos, and wish you a pleasant month. And until the next time, bye for now.